Which of these four types of coins is the best to stack? Well, we're going to get right into it. Stay tuned and let's talk about it. Welcome back to Joseph's Reserves. I'm Joseph, and I save 20% of my income in the form of coins and precious metals. A lot of people ask me, Joseph, what's the best silver coin to stack? Should I go all in on Eagles or stick to Maples or any other sovereign coin? Maybe I'll just get the lowest premium. I'll just buy generics. And I get it. We all want the most ounces for our dollar, but here's the reality. It's not just about what you pay today. It's also about what you can sell it for tomorrow. That difference, the gap between the buy price and the sell price, that's called the spread, and it matters a lot more than people realize. So instead of just focusing on the most ounces you can get for your dollar today, let's also take into consideration the most dollars for your ounces you can get tomorrow. So let's break this down and we'll walk through it slowly with some real numbers. Today's spot price right now is $40.50 per ounce. If you're buying an American Silver Eagle today, you're looking at spending $44.50. That's about $4 of premium over spot. Now, when we go to sell, most dealers are offering $42, which is about $1.50 over spot. So the total spread you're working with here is $2.50. And part of the reason American Silver Eagles hold their value so well is the history. The United States Mint launched the program in 1986. And since then, the American Silver Eagle has become the most recognized silver bullion coin in the world. Stackers and investors trust it because it's backed by the United States government, it has legal tender status, and it's got a track record of 40 years of liquidity. That trust translates into better resale prices. Let's compare that to a silver Canadian maple leaf. It is about $1 cheaper, so you're only going to pay $43.50, making a $3 over spot premium. But again, when you sell it, you're usually just going to get spot. Today, that'd be $40.50. So the spread is the same as the premium. That would be $3. The silver maple leaf has its own history. It was first issued in 1988 by the Royal Canadian Mint, and it was one of the first silver bullion coins that were made in 4/9 fine. That 4/9 purity is still a selling point today. People love the clean, ultra pure silver, and the Royal Canadian Mint is known for its innovation. The radial lines, the anti-counterfeit technology, even this micro-engraved security mark. That reputation helps silver maples move worldwide. But here in the United States, the resale premiums don't always hold up the same way that American Silver Eagles do. Nevertheless, if you're in the United States, the Canadian Silver Maple Leaf is definitely one of the best options. Next up, we have the Silver Britannia. And it's the same thing. It's right around $43.50 to buy. But on the sale right now, it's a little bit weaker. It's about $40 flat. That means about 50 cents under spot. So that grows our spread to $3.50. The Britannia is an interesting coin historically as well. The design itself goes back centuries. The Britannia has been on British coins since the 1600s. But as of modern silver bullion, the Royal Mint didn't launch the 1-ounce Britannia until 1997. And even then, for years, it was 0.958 fine. They called it Britannia silver. But since 2013, they've been making 3/9 fine coins. More recently, the Royal Mint added really advanced security features, a latent image, surface animation, even microtext, making it one of the hardest coins to counterfeit today. And finally, the generics. This is where people often get most excited because they can grab them for about $42.50, which is just $2 over spot. This sounds like the best deal, right? But here's the kicker. When you go to sell, you're lucky if you could get $38.50. That's $2 under spot. You'll end up with a spread of $4, which is the biggest spread of all four coins that we're looking at today. Generics, they don't really have a specific launch date or a government mint backing them. They're private mint rounds or bars, and they're made by companies like Sunshine Mint, Silvertown, Asahi, and they've been around for decades, really gaining steam around the 1970s and 80s when silver stacking took off and the United States removed silver from circulated coins. Generics are great for raw ounces, but because they don't have government backing, they're always harder to sell. So if you're looking at premiums on the day that you buy, generics look amazing. You could say, hey, I got the most ounces for my money. But when you run the numbers on the sell side, it tells a totally different story. That cheap entry turns into the biggest haircuts when it's time to get out. If you're stacking only generics, you're paying less, but you've locked yourself into a coin that consistently sells under spot. It's harder to move them quickly, and when you do, you're taking the biggest loss. So here's where diversity comes in. If you're stacking only Eagles, you're paying the most upfront, and sure, they will hold their premium better than most, but what happens if Eagle demand cools off, or if the mint floods the market, or dealers just aren't paying as much? Suddenly your spread widens, and you've tied your entire stack into a market condition. But if you stack across the board, some Eagles, some Maples, some Britannias, some generic, you'll create flexibility. At any given time, one of those coins is going to have the best spread. Maybe dealers are paying more for Eagles. Maybe they're short on Maples. And maybe you'll get a really great premium. But maybe in the future, Britannias will be in the spotlight. We don't know which will prosper or what the future market looks like. So spread it out. That's the real power of diversification in precious metals. It's not about what single coin is the best, but it's about giving yourself choices when it comes time to sell. Let's think about this from a practical perspective. Let's say you need to sell off 20 ounces of silver. If your entire stack is Eagles, you're forced to part with some of the most expensive silver, whether you want to or not. But if you've got a mix, you can choose to sell the coin that has the best return in that exact moment. That kind of flexibility is wealth protection. And honestly, the principle isn't new. It goes back thousands of years. Ecclesiastes says, "Cast your bread upon the waters, for after many days you will find it again. Divide your portion among 7, even 8, for you do not know what disaster may come upon the land." That's a straight scripture telling you to diversify, because you don't know which side of your wealth will be tested, or which portion will hold its value when things shift. It's the same with stacking silver. Ecclesiastes said 7 or 8. Well, in precious metals, we can diversify much more than that. If you put everything into one coin, you're essentially betting on one outcome. But if you spread it, you don't have to predict the future. You've built a stack that's ready for whatever future comes. And I'll leave you with this thought. Don't get caught up in the hype of the moment. Premiums rise and fall, and buybacks change week to week. Just keep stacking, trust the slow, steady drip. Build a stack that not only grows in ounces, but holds flexibility. That way, no matter what the market throws at you, your wealth is protected.